Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yes, welcome you guys. Pinky in the house. Welcome, Grand Rising, everyone. Y'all know what? Shame on me. I was talking for a good 10 minutes, and then I realized that I didn't see no movement, and I looked over. I hadn't pushed go live. But anyway, I'm live now. I'm glad I figured it out. One time, y'all, I had talked about an hour and went live. Then had to go live and talk some more. Anyway, Nosy Rosa Graham, good morning. Renata Elliott, good morning. Shirley Terry, Grand Rising, you guys. Grand Rising, Pinky the housewife. How you feeling this morning, Pinky? Welcome, welcome, welcome. You guys, y'all know, keep Pinky in our prayers. Y'all know she is just a little over a week post-op surgery, right? Yes. Well, today we will be doing Black Titanic African Aboard. You talk about how the past reflect the future, right? Whatever went on in the past, back in the day, with our ancestors, we still going through it. Only it's just different clothes, right? Then put a suit on it. But we still has to uncover a whole lot of injustice that's going on with our people. Well, today I'm going to be started on page 117. Niger was murdered. Y'all remember Niger? Niger was murdered right here, 117. Niger murdered. But anyway, Niger was the postman, remember? He came outside and Melinda was fussing with that Karen, right? And her and Karen got into it, and there was some self-defense stuff going on where Melinda had to handle her business. Niger is the one that helped her cover that up. Anyway, so Niger is going to try to go upstairs and tell that captain and the people who ever stirring that ship that we are lost. Yeah, the Titanic was lost and they could have been to the United States, but they were lost. So back in the day, our people were trained as to use the universe as their compass, y'all. In the daytime, you'll use the sky. At nighttime, you'll use the stars. Okay, and then you can tell by the way the wind blowing, by the way the ocean and the waves are going, that we use the universe as our compass, right? So all this new technology that was coming out, we had already had all that wireless technology, in our minds. So, but anyway, you guys, Nigel decided he was going to go upstairs to first class to tell them, the ship captain, that we are off course. He make it up there. But he gonna sneak up them stairs where he did have a clear friend. His name was Fred. Now, Fred and him worked on the Titanic. They helped build the Titanic. The Titanic was built in Belfast, Ireland. Ireland belonged to your ancestors over there. Yeah, when you think of Ireland, you think of clear people, but no, it belonged to your ancestors. It was genocide. The genocide was committed over there on the Twa people. Yeah, they just do like they usually do, just take people land. Yeah. But anyway, so Nigel gonna go up there and talk to his friend Fred about they being lost. Fred gonna say, how you get up here, man? You know you don't belong up here. Fred was scared. He said, you gonna get me in trouble. Because, black people, you ninjas don't belong up here on first class. So he made him leave. So anyway, Niger was just curious about the wireless communication, the telegraph. Now, Glenville Wood, your ancestors had built the telegraph. I think he died in 1911, and it was 1912 that the Titanic was using his wireless communication. But Before he died, he did get to see a lot of his patent come into focus. Like, he invented the wireless communication Glanville Wood for the trains. Where train can communicate to one another without crashing. They used to crash a lot before your ancestor Glanville Wood. He built that wireless communication where they can communicate train to train or airplane to airplane, boat to boat. Your ancestor Glanville Wood built that. Okay, so anyway, it was a new technology. So Nigel, he just curious. He stuck his head in the telegraph room and he heard them saying, "Warning, warning, 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 iceberg ahead, Titanic, iceberg ahead." Now Nigel heard that warning coming from another ship. So I'm going to let y'all listen to what happened. I'm going to let y'all listen by way of the phone what happened because Nigel heard it. But they're going to murder Nigel because Nigel knew that the boat was going to go down and he wanted a lifeboat, a life belt. How y'all doing out there? How y'all doing out there? All right, y'all. Big, strong black man grabbed me. I mean, a strong black man grabbed me. He pulled me on a holiday boat with all Negroes on it. "Ellen," he called, "where is Melinda and your brother?" This is taken from the book, The Black Titanic, and Melinda was engaged. In fact, Thomas Edison, he had to sue Thomas. I'm just speeding it up, y'all. Box-like room to tell his companions. This is where I want to be. I'm going to go back, y'all, just a little bit. It's about right here. All right. Some records that I could cling to. So many black people was in the ocean. And so many Negroes was tossed alive and overboard. Many hours went by. Some Negroes were still swimming. But the rescue boats would just pass them by and pick up whites only. Then Negroes began to do for self, trying to get into the overloaded boats, but whites would kick them away. One white man kicked a male Negro. He grabbed the white man's leg and he flipped everybody in the lifeboat in the ocean. They drowned, except for the Negro. Hours passed. Oh man, I was freezing. I was freezing at near death, y'all. I was freezing at near death. Watching corpses floating by, whites, blacks, children as well. I thought I was hallucinating when a big, strong black man grabbed me. A strong black man grabbed me. He pulled me on a homemade boat with all Negroes on it. "Ellen," he called, "where is Melinda and your brother?" This is taken from the book, The Black Titanic, and Melinda was engaged to Ellen's brother. All righty. So that right there, I'm just trying to set y'all up for the story, you guys. That's all I'm setting y'all up for the story. Oh boy, how y'all doing out there? Here we go. Research to find any book that would explain whether black people was on the Titanic besides me talking about it. But anyway, I found this book finally. This is from the first-hand account. This is the first book that came out after the Titanic sank in 1912, and I had never seen it before. You will never see this again and any other writings about these what happened on the Titanic with the blacks that worked on the Titanic. Now I'm gonna talk about the wireless operator. I'm gonna talk about COD messages, and the reason I brought this in because tied to the Titanic was Glenn Bear Wood. He was a black inventor, over 60 patents. And in fact, Thomas Edison, he had to sue Thomas Edison because Thomas Edison was trying to steal and claim his stuff. All the white people were trying to claim his stuff, but he held fast. He was bold. He won all his lawsuits. But anyway, the Titanic was using his wireless operator. He was responsible for the first wireless communication for boats, airplanes, trains, you name it. Glenn Bear Wood. Anyhow, let me just read this. This was the story told by the bystander afterwards on the pier. One husky Italian told the writer on the pier that the way in which the men who were shot down was horrible. His sympathy was with the men who were shot. They were only trying to save their lives, he said. Wireless operator died at his post. On board the Titanic, the wireless operator, with a life belt about his waist, was hitting the instrument that was sending out CQD messages warning. Struck on icebergs, said this was the warning message, CQD. Shall I tell the captain to turn back and help? Flashed a reply from the Carpathia, the other boat, another boat. Yes, old man. The Titanic wireless operator responded. Guess we'll. An hour later, when the second wireless man came into the box-like room to tell his companion what the situation was, he found a Negro stoker. Say it again. He found a Negro stoker. Now, aboard the Titanic, another name for stoker is a fireman. They worked the bows of the Titanic. Y'all probably have never heard of the bows of the Titanic. Let's just say it's the basement. But that was what happened. That's how the Negro stokers got on there. They had them on as firemen. It was a cold strike in 1912, and all the white ladies refused to go to work. They had built this exclusive, expensive ship, and they were not going to lose no money. So this is how all these black people got on the Titanic, because it was a cold strike, it was a strike. And they started hiring black people aboard the Titanic. So these Negro stokers, they worked in the bows of the Titanic, and they were shoveling coals into the big boiler. That's what they were doing. It was hot down there, and it was very hot. They were later named as the Black Gang. Also, we did have a few white Irish men down there, but I was told they couldn't take the heat like the black men, so they couldn't stand it down there. But let me get on talking. He found a Negro stoker creeping up behind the operator, and he saw him raise a knife over his head. He said afterwards, he was among those rescued, that he realized at once that the Negro intended to kill the operator in order to take his life belt from him. Now y'all know that song. This man wanted a life belt. He was not trying to steal no life belt. And why would he have a life belt in the first place? Why were blacks use a life belt? That is the real question here, and that's what we're looking at. But anyway, let's keep on going. Let me read this over. The Negro intended to kill the operator in order to take the life belt from him. So they had refused to give the blacks aboard the Titanic a life belt. The second operator pulled out his revolver and shot the Negro dead. And you know what? It is something how this is so similar to what my grandfather was telling me. Moving on along, so the Negro was shot dead. What was the trouble? Asked the operator. That Negro was going to kill you and steal your life. The second man replied, you know what? It's pissing me off. You know what? The nerve of them thinking that they would kill this man because this man wanted a life jacket. And they really felt like they were in the right for killing him. Thanks, old man, said the operator. The second man went on deck to get some more information. He was just in time to jump overboard before the Titanic went down. The wireless operator and the body of the Negro who tried to steal his belt went down together. So that's how they gonna say he went down as a thief for asking for a lifeboat. Yep, and so that right there was taken from a book, y'all, from an eyewitness account. That's what I read, y'all. The eyewitness account that you would never hear. Any other book that is written about the Titanic, you would never ever know what happened to the Negroes aboard the Titanic. That's the only book that I read that out of a book that I found from eyewitness account. Okay, we're gonna get on into the story now. Get on into the story. We're gonna go to the past. We're gonna go to the future and go back to the past. Hey, Alita Jordan Pinky, the housewife, Miss Cheryl Tuff. Thank y'all for being here. Pinky, you say you in bed? You okay, but you in bed. Okay. This is the story of Walter Scott. He was running, and that y'all, yes, Walter Scott, and that ties into the story with Niger. That's what happened to Niger aboard the Titanic. Oh wow, where are ya? Come on. I have to go in and get it again, you guys. Oh, there we go. Just a bit slow today. What's going on? No sound and it's frozen, you guys. So let's see what's going on. I'm going to probably remove it and bring it back up because that ain't right. Oh, y'all talk to each other until I bring the thing on out, okay? That one will be removed. Pinky, y'all keep each other company down there. Oh, boy. Hopefully it'll come through this time, you guys. All right, you guys, let's see what's going on. Oh, okay, it's no sound. Let's see. Hopefully, this will do it. Still no sound. Okay, I guess I'm gonna have to take this one off and go straight to the story. I had one to show y'all the story of Walter. I think that happened in 2015 when brother Walter was stopped for a tail light and end up. There you go, y'all. Uh,
Enough is enough, America. Enough is enough, America. Enough is enough, America. Enough. It has been a long 6 months for the family of Breonna Taylor after she was shot and killed by Louisville police during a search warrant. This week, we learned the officers will not be charged for death. The Attorney General reporting that while the officers had a no-knock warrant, there is evidence they announced their presence before going in and getting into a shootout with Taylor's boyfriend, who says he thought they were intruders. He shot once. The nationwide outcry over the case stirring up memories of a similar one here in Atlanta. 14 years ago, Atlanta police officers shot and killed 92-year-old Catherine Johnston when serving a no-knock warrant at her home. But it was the wrong house. I spoke with someone close to the case. The tragedy that happened to Breonna just reminds me so much of the night that Catherine Johnston was killed. It's been 14 years since Atlanta police officers burst into the Northwest Atlanta home of 92-year-old Catherine Johnston 2 days before Thanksgiving. Frightened, she grabbed her pistol and shot once to protect herself. Police returned fire 39 times, hitting her 6 times, killing her. Today, those close to the case see similarities between Johnston's death and the death of Breonna Taylor. It's saddening, and in a lot of ways, it's maddening. Officers entered Johnston's home on a no-knock drug warrant based on bad information. The officers tried to cover up their bad act by planting drug evidence in Johnston's home. The truth of the matter is, it was the process, it was policy and procedure that killed Catherine Johnston, and it's the same thing for Breonna Taylor. Unlike Breonna Taylor's case, the 3 officers who entered Johnston's home were all arrested and convicted on federal charges. There's still an active federal investigation in Taylor's case, which could lead to charges for the officers. Reverend Marco Hutchins believes Taylor's death presents a new opportunity for systemic change. We have to focus on the solutions and not just being angry or upset, which we have every right to.
the past reflects the future. Scott 50 had been stopped for a broken tail light. Put your hands behind your back. Now this, he did not keep saying put your hands behind your back. He don't think that nobody is filming. He don't know. He's trying to do the case for himself. Notice his hands is already behind his back. He shot this man in his back. Someone grabbed me a kit. So now this officer, look at him. Now they are, notice you have an African American, or you have a black officer and a white officer, right? So now the officer drops an object near Mr. Scott. So now what are that? Boys in blue. Boys in blue looking out for each other. Past reflect the future, like on that boat of the Titanic. Nigel was running and they shot him in the back. So this is Walter Scott, you got all over a broken tail light. He got out and he ran. And y'all didn't notice, but it was a man in the car. He had somebody in the car with him when he got out and ran. So you notice, do you see my car next to Gerald? We're behind the pawn shop. They still don't know that this man is filming. They don't know that this is a private citizen that released this video out to the public. So Walter has to lay there like that. Nobody tried to get him CPR. Nobody tried to save his life. Nobody. A second video captured the scene. Here come the rest of the officer. Now he gonna go over there and give his statement. Of course, you know his statement gonna be in his own defense. You're watching the Walter Scott shooting. Walter Scott was from North Charleston, Carolina. This happened, I believe, in 2017. Yeah, Mr. Scott was pronounced dead.
Click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.
Grand Rising, everybody. Well, all over a traffic light stop, you guys. They said that one of his tail lights was malfunctioning. Mr. Walter Scott was attacked by Mr. Slager. Mr. Slager never gave him a chance. This man was running and he shot him in his back. But Slager pleaded guilty to federal charges of violating Mr. Scott's civil rights. He was returned to jail pending sentence. So, yeah, he got out on bond, right? He got on bond. So then they returned him back to jail. And he returned for his guilty plea. The state's murder charges were dropped. Wow. In December 2017, Slager was sentenced to 20 years in prison, with the judge determining the underlying offense was second-degree murder. The past reflects the future. We're going to lead on into the book where Niger, innocent man, was just minding his own business, trying to help out, tell the people on the Titanic that the Titanic was lost. They were so off course. As a result of that, his fate was fatal. Niger, y'all remember now, Niger was the one that helped Aunt Melinda dispose of that body, y'all. Y'all remember that? Is the facts of who was in America, Africans in American before Columbus.
Could have served as a suitable restocking station for sailors, reducing the distance of the journey to South America to about 2,000
This is Black Culture Diary.
While it may seem unlikely or far-fetched to imagine African explorers crossing the vast Atlantic in ships, it is important to recognize that ancient African boats, including dugout canoes, were capable of such voyages. These boats did not require rudders or sails and could have crossed the ocean in a matter of weeks. Prevailing wind patterns and ocean currents that blow from Africa to South America played a significant role in making these voyages possible. It is worth noting that these same winds and currents were later utilized by Europeans during the transatlantic slave trade to ship enslaved Africans. Africans were skilled shipbuilders, as evidenced by archaeological findings. For example, a painting derived from Nubian pottery dating back to 3000 BCE shows a long-hulled boat, papyrus raft, or dugout canoe. Another painting from Chad, dating back to 3500 BCE, depicts a bird's-eye view of a Nile riverboat. All this suggests how skilled Africans were in building ships powerful enough to take them to distant lands. These pieces of evidence challenge the traditional narrative and point to the possibility of Africans exploring and reaching the Americas before Columbus. It is essential to delve deeper into this history and examine the complex interactions between different cultures and peoples throughout time. The Africans from Guinea had skillfully crafted dugout canoes made from the strong garganton trees found in the Congo forest. Portuguese explorers, like Captain Pacheco Pereira, discovered these impressive canoes, some of which could carry up to 80 men. It's worth noting that similar types of vessels used by Polynesians to sail to the Americas are not questioned for their seaworthiness. Even though some people doubt that Africans
and ask any mattress. This has a multi-zone support.
A 15th century Portuguese painting depicting sailing canoes in the Congo River proves otherwise. This challenges the notion that Africans couldn't have made it to the New World. Furthermore, the recent discovery of American narcotics in Egyptian mummies has astounded historians. Compounds such as South American cocaine and nicotine found in these mummies suggest that the transatlantic trade had brought these substances to Africa, potentially thousands of years before Columbus arrived. This really is striking and irrefutable evidence. To further support the argument, the Olmecs, a civilization that predates other advanced civilizations in the Americas, were uncovered by archaeologists in the early 1870s. They are well known for their carved stone heads found in central Mexico, which bear a distinctly African appearance. These colossal statues, ranging from 30 to 40 tons in weight and up to 11 feet in height, depict helmeted black men with African facial features such as broad noses, full lips, and Ethiopian-style braided hair. These statues are believed to represent priest kings who governed vast territories in Mesoamerica during the Olmec period. Historian Floyd Hayes questions why these ancient Olmec artists would accurately depict African features if Africans were not present in the Americas before Columbus. It defies logic and artistic experience to suggest that they could depict such details of African physiognomy without ever having seen it before. Interestingly, despite this glaring evidence, European archaeologists in Mexico have attributed the Olmec statues to various explanations, including giant babies, monkeys, and even aliens, anything but acknowledging their African origins. These pieces of evidence challenge the narrow narratives that have excluded Africans from early exploration and civilizations in the Americas. It is important to examine the historical record with an open mind and consider the possibilities that go beyond conventional assumptions. Unfortunately, this information remains largely unknown to the general public. For years, the suppression of alternative historical narratives has silenced researchers who bring forth evidence that contradicts the accepted history. What do you think? Why historians glorified Christopher Columbus and attributed him to America's discovery? Isn't it logical to decide he wasn't the first man to discover America? Let us know your opinion on this. Isn't it possible that many more discoveries might originally belong?
So you're watching Black Culture Diary. It's important to know that Christopher Columbus did not discover America. I remember, I think I was in like the 6th or 7th grade when I kept asking my instructor, how did he discover America if people was greeting him off the boat, you guys? He wrote in his diary that dark-skinned people greeted him with nappy hair that looks like his guide. His guide was a black man. So, yeah, we were here. We've always been here in America. They sailed before Columbus. It's a great book. But this is Black Culture Diary. It says they would never teach who really did discover America in school. You guys have to watch the rest of this. It is very important.
Africans, but discrimination in the past led to fabrication in the record? Do you want to watch more videos like this one? If yes, subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon next to it. We have decided to bring videos on something nobody talks about: the Black culture, civilization, history, and evidence about how glorious Blacks have been. We encourage you to join our community in supporting and building a strong Black history education medium. Thanks for watching, and until the next video, stay tuned.
Yeah, that was very powerful, you guys. That history, our history, wherever we go, we are native. The whole universe, we are native everywhere we go because we were the first everywhere. Our ancestors were skilled navigators. They were skilled boat builders. Now you never heard now one of their boats ever collapsed that they built. Anything we built is strong, y'all. They still amazed at the pyramid over there. That pyramid, thousands and thousands of years ago, it was built. Those pyramids, they pops up all over. But they're still standing. They didn't withstand through nature, y'all. Anyway, I'm gonna keep it going. Now, y'all saw how Mr. Scott was shot in the back as he run. Just picture that. Y'all know when the black man, the stoker, asked for People's head, and he was asking for a life jacket. According to the eyewitness, he struck out and ran. And they chased him through the Titanic, and they shot him in the back of the in the back. So now we're finna get into the book. I'm drawing y'all into the story of the book so y'all can visualize it, okay? Nigel's getting murdered. They're gonna chase Nigel, gonna chase him down like he's some kind of animal through that boat, and then delete him. So thank all of you guys for being here, you guys. I appreciate all of you. And Pinky, you could be sick and still trying to hang in here. I really am grateful to you as well. Oh wow. Sometimes it helps because I know when something be wrong with me when I was going through with my brother illness. Yeah, I relied on the people on the internet, you guys.
Ordered the assassination of the leader Gaddafi. Many Africans were forced into slavery. So to escape, they took to the Mediterranean Sea where many died. This bears similarity to the blacks who was on board the Titanic, but there was no lifeline, so many perished and was buried under the sea. Again, welcome to the home of Black Titanic.
Hey, happy Sabbath, everyone. You guys know what time it is. It is Black Titanic down time. Reading, y'all. How y'all been doing? Huh? Y'all been doing okay? Where do I got? I'm on page, I think started with page 117 to catch you up. Now, Niger, y'all remember Niger? Niger was the postal worker, and he also owned a boutique up there in first class. Well, he's also from Ireland, but he's black. He is a Twa. The Twa people from Ireland, where he come from, is the first inhabitant of Ireland, you guys. Most people think of Irish, you think of some little white men coming from Ireland, but they really belong to the Twa people, right? Right over there, the Twa people is when they went over there to commit genocide on those people. the Twa over there in the Congo, and it really was the I call it the first African Holocaust. But anyway, that's where Niger were from. Niger decided that, oh boy, they kept telling amongst themselves, they knew that the Titanic was off course, that they were lost. That before they get too deep, Niger wanted to tell the someone, look, we are off course. Get this ship back on. The Titanic is lost. Of course, he's a black African man, right? So they don't take too lightly. Number one, he's out of place. If he's not at work, he's not supposed to be nowhere in first or second floor, right? So, but anyway, Nigel had a friend that he worked with when they were in Ireland. Now that's where the Titanic was built at, in Belfast, Ireland. And his friend, he and Fred, who is a white Irishman, right? They became friends. Of course, by him being a clear skinned person, when they got on the boat, Niger, was assigned somewhere. He was assigned. Fred was assigned. I call him the lookout man. You watching the seas, and that's who he wanted to tell. Hey, bro, Fred, he climbed up that ladder to talk to Fred. He managed to get past those guards unnoticed, and like to tell Fred, look, you're the one looking at the sea. You're supposed to be warning everyone that the ship is off course. Of course, they don't know. They don't know. Our people was trained for the compass, for the universe to be their navigator, right? You can tell by the way the waves going, whatever the sky going on up there in the sky, the stars, all of that to determine your destination, where you're going. Also, Nigel, I'm starting at the bottom of the page. So Nigel entered climbing up the ladder. Fred, that's the white guy that he worked with to help build the Titanic in Ireland. Climbing up the ladder, Fred was testing the enormous warning bell, so he didn't hear him, right? Oh man, you started me. You started me, said Fred. What you doing up here? Man, what you are doing up here? This ship is off course to you, Negroes. I learned how to navigate the sea by way of nature. That's what I learned. Let the universe drive. Let the universe guide you. So this ship is off sea. This ship is off course, said Nigel. But man, you started me. You can't be up here. What are you doing up here, said Fred. During the day, he's just trying to explain to him. During the day, I look at the sun. Throughout the night, the stars will guide you. What's wrong with you? You clear people don't know nothing. I can't believe you are listening to all that old voodoo from all those African women, said Fred. That's voodoo you're talking about. How they keep telling you that the ship is not going to make it. Oh, all that old voodoo stuff. What's more, Nigel was an expert sailor as well. He believed in the old-fashioned way, using the universe as a compass. Now, had it been they would have been listening to Fred and Aunt Linda, a lot of lives would have been saved. Man-made technology. Man-made technology. You can't depend on that, said Fred. He told Fred, no, you can't depend on no man-made technology. This is what Nigel telling Fred. Besides running a store at the Titanic, I was removed and placed back down there in the bowels of the Titanic because I'm a black man. Yeah, they told me I couldn't run no store up in here. Throw me down in the bowels of the Titanic to work that fire. Yes. You already know about my post office that I got on there. And then you already know that most of the blacks here on the Titanic, that's where they at in the bows of the Titanic. Man, that's the dirtiest work. It's the longest hours on this ship. Well, how did you get past the officers on the bridge? Said Fred. It was luck, bro. Just pure luck. Pure luck, that's all. Above the Titanic were 6 lookout crewmen, each alternated shift. They had to watch the sea. They weren't doing a very good job, according to Niger, because they were lost. They weren't doing a very good job because already they was an iceberg ahead of them. So they weren't doing a good job. They were lazy. They had to keep the officer informed on any issue that can affect the navigation of the Titanic. However, Fred admits that someone had misplaced his binoculars. How can you see what's going out there in the sea? You don't have no binoculars, and he ain't even try to look for them, y'all. This is true. This is true, y'all. They said that they had to misplace the binoculars so they couldn't see what was going on out there in the sea. Right? So anyway, they had to watch the sea. They had to keep the officers informed on any issue that would affect the navigation of the Titanic. However, Fred did admit once again that he had misplaced the binoculars. He admits that navigation might be behind, but they had it under control. Yeah, it's all under control, Nigel. The phone rang. So he instructed Nigel to climb back down the stairs before the boss sees him. Remember, Nigel ain't had no business up there unless he's working. A black man is not allowed on the first and second class deck. In the meantime, Nigel is curious about the new technology, the wireless communication that your brother Winville that your brother created. Yes. Now he died in 1911, this seal in 1912, and but they still were using the brothers' technology, right, y'all? He knew the wireless telegram operated in codes, much like the drum. So y'all know that we have always invented the wireless communication. It first started out with Africans and their drums. Yeah, that's how they communicate, by way of the drums. That's why when they brought them over here from slavery, they weren't allowed to have no drums because Esau did not understand those codes in the drums. So now Niger tuck his head inside. Niger curious about the wireless telegram, how that work. So he gonna stick his head inside that little room where the little operator is at. He knew the wireless telegram operated in code, much like the drum. So Niger could figure out what was going on. Then Niger tucked his head inside the wireless room. He heard ice warning, stop the ship. Stop the ship. Mayday, 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 mayday. Ice warning, stop the ship. The operator Harry turned around, looked at Niger. Nigga, get out of here, get out of here, get out of here. Instead of him to take care of that warning, right? He worried about Nigel being up there on in the operating room with him. The operator stayed at this post. He stayed at his post though, But his friend Harry followed Nigel as Fred noticed confusion among them. Now remember, Fred, he's still up there up at the top. You ninjas need to stay in your place, Harry, the ship operator said, while he spit snuff out of his mouth. Yeah, he spit snuff. It's landed in Nigel's face. Oh my God, he said, spit that snuff in Nigel's face. Y'all know Nigel mad. Of course, he had a large pistol in his hand. He forced Nigel to run. I'm going to hunt, he had yelled. Run, ninja, run. Pow, 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 pow. Run, ninja, run. Pow, 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 pow. Run, ninja, run. Nigel was running. He chased Nigel through the forecastle deck. There were some white passengers strolling. Some were shouting racial slurs as he ran. Some threw peanuts at him, while others act as though he was invisible. He was chased through an open door. It led to a room with smells of kerosene. It was where the navigation lamps were kept. They were used to signal the nearby ships. So that's what he was trying to hide in. Inside the room, Nigel heard several men laughing. It was Harry and his fellow crewmen. They bombarded him with racial slurs. They threatened him. Now, he knew he was engaged with these minions, with evil minds that wanted to kill him. Apparently, they misjudged the left-handed swordsman. Nigel was a warrior to his soul, and he will fight to his death. He looked his left hand. He pulls out his two-handed sword which slanged across his back. 3 of Nigel's enemies had axes, and Harry's friend held the handgun. Without a doubt, the gunman was the first one Nigel attacked. Nigel knew he had to get the man with the gun first. Yes, with quick and skillful hands, he slices through muscles, bones, and tissues, slicing the gun hand off. He bleeds to death. He sliced their hand off that the gun was on. He was an expert swordsman. With 2 men remaining, Nigel goes into action. His comeback was unparalleled. He fought with speed. He fought with power and strategy. With the sword in his left hand, he delivered an explosive blow to his enemy heart. He stuck him in his heart. Nigel put a blow to his heart. All that speed and power. When he delivered an explosive blow to his enemy heart, it left a big hole in it. His enemy died standing up. Without a doubt, Nigel's swordsmanship was supreme. He had not one scratch on him as Harry rushed through the doors. Now Harry rushing through the doors. At once, Fred climbed down the ladder. Fred wondered, what's all the emotion? I remember Fred is his buddy. Fred is the only buddy. He a clear person too, but he and Nigel were buddies. Fred ran and wondered what's wrong, all this noise. By the time he got on the forecastle deck, gunshot blasted. While Nigel was walking back to his cabin, Harry shot him 5 times in the back. Meanwhile, the other operators run out. Harry lied. He told everyone that the Negro Stoker pulled a knife on him. Out of fear, I shot him. They are always killing us out of fear, y'all. Y'all know this. But the first thing they say, I fear for my life. Of course, Fred knew Harry was lying. He saw him shoot Nigel in the back. Now I'm going to skip this. I'm going to skip page 120. These are giving you just different examples of when you say the past reflect the future. It's just giving you different examples of black men that been killed unjustly, right? So I'm going to go with Walter Scott on page 121. Now, Walter Scott, April the 14th, 2015, in North Carolina, a white officer, Michael Slaver, shot him in the back 5 times. Slater placed a taser next to Scott's corpse, and later he died. Claimed Scott had tried to tase him. However, video shows the victim running as he shoots him in the back. He died on the scene. This is Walter Scott, April the 14th, 2015. The past reflect the future. I'm going to page 123, y'all. Yeah, I want to go start with 122. I'm going to tell y'all about this little boy right here. South Carolina, George Junior Steiner Jr., October 21st, 1929 to June 6, 1944. He was a 14-year-old African-American wrongfully convicted of murder in 1944. White lies convicted him of killing 2 white girls. The all-white jury convicted him in less than 15 minutes of a false confession. He is one of the youngest person in the United States to be sentenced to death and to be executed by electric chair. Yes, his name is George Steiner, y'all. He was 14 years old and one of the youngest to be ever in history to be in the electric chair. And then they got the nerve to want to apologize lately. I don't know what year it was, but it's either it was when Bush, one of them was the president, but they just apologized to the family, you guys. But on page 123, second paragraph, without a doubt, racial tension is fueling aboard the Titanic, and Nigel became a victim of white lies. Now Fred kneels. He felt a faint pulse. He saw Nigel still breathing. He turns him over. Hold on, friend, hold on. Dr. Anderson is on his way. Fred is just so upset. Hold on, friend, hold on. Dr. Anderson is on his way. Y'all remember now, Dr. Anderson is Ellen's biological daughter. Dad she just met aboard the Titanic. Dr. Anderson arrives with his mulatto daughter, Helen. Helen is the twin that she meet for the first time. They were separated when they were just a child. So the mulatto dad, the white dad, will allow his daughter Helen to stay in the house as a servant, while Ellen, who is on board the Titanic already, her mom ran with her. She escaped with her. Wow. I'm on page 123, first, second, third paragraph. Dr. Anderson, he arrives with his mulatto daughter Helen, carrying a large leather bag. He found Nigel. Nigel was barely alive. Oh, Nigel, he was my favorite character. His organs was filled with 5 open bullet wounds. It was smelly, and the wounds were so gross enough to send shivers down your spine. A close inspection revealed that the victim was shot in the back. This is a crime! This is a crime! Y'all know this is a crime! Dr. Anderson shouted. Whoever shot this man needs the death penalty. Everyone stayed quiet as they observed Dr. Anderson and his secret mulatto daughter, Helen, trying to repair the gunshot wound. 20 minutes later, and bleeding hadn't stopped. So Captain Smith is sent for Melinda, who was already in first class working for his wife. Minutes later, she arrived, followed by her twin, Ellen. If this was a Caucasian, his body wouldn't be laying on this deck for the public to see like this. Just laying out here, said Ellen. That's how y'all treat us. Page 124 at the top of the page. You're absolutely right. You're right. You're absolutely right. That's how they treat us, said Melinda. Or else this man would have been in the clinic somewhere getting treatment. He wouldn't be laying out here on the ship deck like this. Dr. Anderson replied, take him now. Take him to the clinic. Take this man to the clinic. At that moment, Melinda looks up. Then she proceeded to examine Nigel. She saw that one bullet had ricocheted in his right upper chest. His right side, his right chest. Bullet had ricocheted, and another bullet caused multiple organ damages. Quick, 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 quick. Hey, move quick, said Melinda. Helen, open up that medical bag and get me some lots of dry towels. His open chest wound is leading to a collapsed lung. Yes, replied Dr. Anderson. You can stop air from entering by closing the chest wound with an occlusive dressing. Teamwork took place. Melinda told Ellen to go to the kitchen to get Mom Annie. Please go get Mom Annie. Somebody go to the kitchen and get Mom Annie. Oh, tell Annie I got a bleeder. And she know what to bring me out of that kitchen. Go on now. Tell Annie I got a bleeder. I got a bleeder down here. Mom Annie know what to bring me. I couldn't stop the bleeding. Replied Dr. Anderson. There's nothing can stop the bleeding. We tried everything. Helen shouted. Nothing can stop this bleeding. Already Melinda had heard the news about Ellen Twin and Dr. Anderson. Without a doubt, she thought that Ellen and Helen were identical. Minutes later, Mom Annie returned from the kitchen. So Melinda rubs honey over the bullet wound. It aids in wound healing and reducing odor and pus. Then she pours cayenne pepper deep into the wound, followed by a dry, clean pressure dressing. The pepper aided in blood coagulation. It stopped the bleeding. I am not a medical doctor, you guys. Everything is just my opinion and alleged. Dr. Anderson looked shocked as he saw the bleeding cease. Amazing. This is amazing. Everything for educational use at this time. Fair use. Then Melinda points to a bullet protruding through the skin in the leg. Dr. Anderson, do you see that bullet? You can see that bullet hole, doctor, underneath the skin. Can it be removed in the clinic? Bullet hole, just a bullet sticking through the skin, Dr. Anderson. You gotta take him to the clinic to remove that. He's stabilized enough to go, said Melinda. He can go now. He's stabilized. Against all rules on the Titanic, no blacks in first class. So Captain Smith orders crewmen to carry Nigel to the medical clinic. He did it because he feared Melinda might quit her job with his wife again. Ninja lovers, that's all you are, shouts some passengers as they transport Nigel to the clinic. 30 minutes later, y'all, he died. Soon news traveled throughout the entire boat. The captain didn't charge Henry He didn't charge Henry with nothing for shooting him. Instead, they made a song off the death of the victim. They had no remorse. They threw Nigel's body overboard. Also, Fred overheard Harry telling the other wireless operator that Nigel was an easy target. After all, who cares? So they going around, Harry and them, they going around bragging about how they got rid of Nigel. By the time the news hit Ernest and David and the rest of the Aboriginal, rage took over. Inside the bows of the Titanic, David instructed them to leave. Nobody gonna work. Damn these people, these clear people. They just killed my brother. This boat can't go nowhere without us. This boat ain't going nowhere, and we ain't gonna work. He told Mama Annie, don't you cook a damn thing for these colonizers. He told Melinda allow the quack Dr. Ellen dad to give health care to these ungrateful people. They ungrateful. These people are ungrateful. Don't you pick a hand up to save them, Melinda. And Mom Annie, don't you cook nothing. Let them starve to death. He told the Haitian engineer with the white wife to just stay away from her. You gone with your little wife. Y'all just gone somewhere. This boat is going down. It's going to go down, said Ellen. It's what Melinda tried to warn us. The boat is going down. The next 24 hours, said Ernest, we got to make sure that we are ready. That's right. We got to make sure that we are ready. Well, I'm back, you guys. What a journey that was, y'all. We went on a journey, didn't we? Yes, I like the part of the history where they talked about how our ancestors was navigators, how our ancestors was no stranger to the sea, how our ancestors built the stronger and better boats that there were because they indeed were expert builders as well. Well, I'm going to say goodbye to all of you guys. When I say the past reflect the future, I give y'all the example of just how Mr. Walter Scott was running from that man. He had no reason to shoot him, but that race soldier shot Walter Scott in the back. Then I drawed y'all on board the Titanic, where Nigel was running now. It was the fight was over, but someone went and got and pow him in the back. The past reflect the future. Thank all of you for being here. Pinky the housewife, I want to thank you. Get well soon, Pinky. Yeah, Darcel Arias, Grand Rice, and Shirley Terry, Arlita Jordan, Miss Cheryl Tuff, Arlita Jordan again, Shirley Terry, Renata D. Elliott, Nosy Rosa Graham. I said Pinky the housewife. You guys been fantastic. Thanks for rocking with me. Thanks for hanging on with me. And I'm coming live tomorrow, y'all guys. Or maybe late. I might do a pop-up tonight or in the morning, Pinky. You guys, we gotta talk about Kimmy. I cannot let that slip. I have to do it live on Kimmy. Yes, Kimmy and how she I don't like how she's shading them Eminem kids. I saw that as a shade, showing a dig at them kids when she said, when she was talking about that name change and how that, they will be stereotyped. Stereotype. If the name is different from the mom, the parents, which notice she didn't say parents because Mel clapped back. Mel to me like a baby mama. Like a baby mama. She was talking about her, the baby mama. Nobody don't know nothing about Kimmy and who she is. No. Who was Jalen dad? Why Jalen don't have that dad last name? Ooh, it's so much. So we're gonna talk about that. I'm just so ready to blast her. I'm ready to blast Kimmy. Everybody been holding back on Kimmy. And did y'all know, or y'all need to find it? She over there on social media just clowning, trying to take up for Maurice, a grown man that he would never take up for her. She over there going back and forth with in the chat with the people in the chat. All right, you guys. Y'all have the rest of the day. 12:14 in my neck of the wood. Thank you guys. Y'all enjoy y'all day and be happy, everybody. Be happy.